Okay, I just got a comment on the video of my shark. I think it was that video asking about these straps I briefly mentioned, and I realized I never did a video talking about them. I don't know if I had this one when I did either of those videos, because I had the white Frankie done for a while before I got this. This one was made by a friend. We'll start here because, you know, everybody loves Frankie, and this one, I feel like more people would recognize this than this one. So we'll start with Frankie. There's a friend of mine named Sean, and we were in this group, you know, everybody wants to be real anal about the details on these replicas, and wanted the strap. And he tracked down a pair of these clasps, the correct ones, and they're hard to get. You're probably thinking why, just like a dog clasp. But this I don't know what you want to call it, D-ring, the hoop, loop, whatever, but it's not just a D shape. It has a little, I don't know, it looks like a bell. So though I don't know if they just don't make them anymore or what, but apparently it's hard to find these. So Sean found some. Him and another guy named Jeff Rich kind of worked together to make these. And I don't know where everything came from. I know they had to import, maybe it was the studs from Turkey or something like that. And that was a pain. But yeah, Sean put all the money into tracking down these parts. And he ended up finding, I don't know if they're still making them, but he ended up finding a guy on eBay selling a lot of these. So he bought them so he could make these. And they were selling these on eBay, him and Jeff. So they're old, you know, but they're right. One's a little stiff. And I'll tell you, this strap, as you can tell, this is fucking chain. It's heavy. That guitar, the white one, weighs 13 pounds with the strap on. So I think it's a 9-pound guitar. So it's uncomfortable. I'm 6'2". This strap has the same amount of studs as Ed's. I can't quite remember, but I know Jeff was making the strap the same amount of chain links as Ed's. Ed is like, what, 5'8", 5'9". He's considerably shorter than me, so it's a pretty uncomfortable strap to use. But it looks cool. So yeah, I mean, you know, track down these. I don't know if there's anything special about this chain. I didn't have a hand in making this, so, you know, I can't really say where all this comes from, where you can get it. Jeff put all the studs into the leather. It's also back, so you can't see them. So I don't know how it's adhered, if it's some sort of adhesive or what. There's no sew line, so it's not that. I don't know what Ed's looks like. I imagine the, you know, the little prongs from the studs are sticking out. I find this a little better. Can't get caught on your shirt or whatever. And then that little bit of duct tape on the front. So the way, you know, this would be towards the front that you would see on the front. And then this is the back. And I don't know, Jeff and Sean figured out all the details of the amount of studs, the amount of links. And it's pretty damn, it's great. You know, you see people make these with the square, like, say they get a studded belt or something, and it's square studs. These cone studs are, I don't know. If you've seen the other videos I made of the 3 other guitars, you know I like details, so you need these obviously. So it's a really cool thing, and with that 78 Frankenstrat is about 99.9% accurate. It's about as close as you're getting to the real deal. This one is the one, he used both of these on the Shark and the Frankie. The studded one was mostly on the Frankie, but if you look at the photos of them recording Van Halen 2, he's using this one on the Frankie, but this is mostly seen on the Shark. And this one is a World War II gunner's safety belt type A3. I don't know what purpose this had. I think it was used on a plane, maybe to secure these gunners. No idea. But it's from 1940s. Paid $20. That's a hell of a deal. Most times you see them, they go for 80 or 90. Because you have people interested in wartime stuff, and you have a few people like me who were interested in this for guitar reasons. So when you get it, it is it's rather long, and you have to cut it. So if you don't like the idea of cutting a really old piece of history, I guess, don't spend your money. It's kind of a waste. But I bought it for a reason, so I was slicing that shit up. Like I said, I paid $20. This here is just it's a black and brown double-sided strap extender. And I think Ed's was black and brown like this. I paid $7 for this or something. So, yeah, this was, there was like a sewn part of this. I don't remember quite how it was, but the part I just picked up was sewn into that. And you have to cut it off. You can't just pull it through. But, so you cut it up, basically put your strap extender through, ta-da, there you go. Ed's guitars have the eye bolt, you know, little screws for his straps. This is nice, it can fit over, and whenever, like on the Shark, the way his eye bolt is, you'd put it on and twist it. And it's almost like a strap lock, because the eye bolt is going horizontally. This would be going vertically. I mean, I'm not in a band, I don't do any of that, so I don't know how well that would hold up, but this thing, talk about a fucking strap lock. It's hard to get this thing open and closed one-handed, but essentially, you, that. I'm not going to be able to do it again one-handed, but pull the spring back and then this thing can open. So your guitar is not going anywhere with this unless the eye bolt pulls out. So you know, you're good. But yeah, you know, it's neat. Ed's guitar, his strap, there's a few different versions of this strap out there. You can see mine has this stitch pattern down the middle. Ed's doesn't. And his has some stamping, kind of like this stuff, not this G31 or 21, whatever. Like a rectangle of stamping. His is up here, and I believe it's just kind of luck getting one that is that exact in the stamp location. And like I said, his doesn't have this line, but I paid $20. It's damn near identical to the strap Ed has. It's the same thing, just slightly cosmetically different. So those are the straps. While I'm talking, guess I'll show you this replica I'm working on. Because you've seen the finished one. Well, you've seen my first red one. This is now my 4th. My history of replicas go, I made that one. I then made 2 of these for friends. Made the white one, made this one. Here we are again. Because I like some money. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I really need to finish this for this guy. I feel terrible. I just keep underestimating how much goes into the red layer. And holidays kind of sucked and whatever. So I'm making this for him as a current day replica. Basically, he said he wants the US Festival, which is like mine. But he doesn't want the broken reflectors. He wants them to be, or he does want a broken reflector. And that's really the only, there's not a real big difference other than that. I don't think I'll give him the blue paint. I might ask him about it because, you know, I don't know what he wants. So the front is basically done. I haven't dirtied the routes in the middle yet. Missing the burn, the yellowing. If I was doing a current day replica, there's another burn that comes off here. I'll have to talk to him about the small details. But yeah, this is all done with an X-Acto blade. The detail on this one is so much better than mine. The one I have a video about. I should have done videos. The last one I did, it was pretty much fucking spot on. I spent a year on that one, and I made sure I got everything exact. Kind of know how this deal goes now. I'm pretty used to the stages of making one of these. I don't have much to do. This here, I might have mentioned in another video, but on the real one it like fades from red to a pinkish to the white from the sweat for years. So I need to simulate that there, do the burn, try to do yellowing. The tape goo needs done. I just use liquid electrical tape. The bottle's not up here, but it's just like brush on black electrical tape. And whenever you get a little, you know, smudgy and dusty, it looks just like sticky tape. I put the dot in there. If you looked at my 83 video, I might have pointed out the little ruby that goes in there. Current day doesn't. The current day is like this. Came out. But I might be putting one in because I did this without realizing he did say 83. Once again, I'm using a lock body. I said in my other video, you know, that's who I use. You couldn't see the logo, but there it is. The back looks weird, no reflectors. So, got some reflectors. Friend David helped me track these down. Fender ones have the diamond pattern. These are square, still shiny and new. You can see the letters. I normally sand those down, scuff it up, because, you know, after a few years of playing with these, they're gonna rub down. There's an issue with all these. The adhesive pad is never in line. These ones are kind of ghetto-ly cut up. But what you'll have is the white adhesive pad sticking out. And I basically trim that off, make it flush. And then on this exposed plastic, I use white paint. So when it's down, you don't see that weird not backed by white look. And it looks good. There's a tip for you. This is the first time I've actually masked off this white. Normally there's white tape there, so I'm just like, whatever. But this time I've actually done that. I'm not positive it's actually there on the red, but I see everybody doing it, and some of the people I know that make the best replicas do it that way. So I decided to go with it. It'll get covered by electrical tape anyway. Or gaffer's tape, I'm not quite sure what it uses during that period of time. But yeah, just, you know, I think Fender had these ones right. You can see there's a center line. It's not just one design. It's kind of tricky. And there's always a way these things line up, you know. So if you make one of these, study some photos, and you should be able to find enough to, you can see that, I think this one goes somewhere around here, and you can see like this point starts in the red, and it kind of, it's like that. There are keys to figure out placement. I know one of these will end up like down here, and it has this plus or X, whatever you want to go for. So you know, you can figure it out. But with the fogging I was just talking about on the front, the faded red to pink, I need to do that along here, and here, and then all of this, some up here. That's pretty much it. I will then matte clear coat everything to protect in, because I do all that with dry brushing paints and it would wear off real quick. So I clear coat it with matte, I buff it up to a semi-gloss look, and then I'll put the reflectors on. The reflectors, like I said, they go in a specific spot. One of these will be broken. If you haven't and you really want to see them, go on Instagram, look up EVH, I think it's _ Frankenstrat _ builds, something like that. I should know my username a little better, but I don't post so much on there. But I have kind of close-up pictures, or pictures the last one I did that was just great. But a lot of people I see do this reflector. The Strat video kind of went off course, but they will pre-cut this reflector in half and leave the backing, and they'll cut that backing to the rough shape that it looks like on the real one. And so they cut it, put it down, they're like, wow, look, it's cool. And it's like pre-cut, and I don't like that. It just doesn't look realistic to me, and I don't know, it looks like the crap that Fender tried to pull off. So I will put it down just like it was in 80, 81, somewhere in there, when these ones went on the guitar. And in 83, whenever it got broken off, late 83, I will, when it's stuck to the guitar, take a Dremel, cut it in half, take the little gouge out, and very carefully separate the plastic from the adhesive on the back. And then I basically use an X-Acto and tear the shit out of that adhesive pad, because Ed's adhesive pad was worn away from him using it. It doesn't have super clean cut lines or anything, you know. So you wear it down, and it leaves some sticky. There won't be a pad there, but it'll be sticky. And you get that dirty, and I use some shoe polish or some stain, and I get the white pad gross looking. And it looks pretty close to Ed's. Ed's is a little more yellowed, probably. His is a little more yellowed, probably from all the smoking. I don't know, but I think it looks light years better than what a lot of people seem to do with this thing. So yeah, that's the guitar. The last thing I've done on this thing is all this little black detail. Whenever I painted it red, I just let it there. If you go to that account I mentioned, you can see what it was like before I painted red. And these things were scratched into the white paint. You can see the black stripe and the white. They were, you know, scratched out like I would do here in the white. And then my goal was wear them out through the red, having some issues, so I hand painted these back in. Same thing with these. I'll do the fogging, do that, hopefully send it out at some point, but as you can see, details, details, details. That's an area not many people get super right. But yeah, that's the guitar. And I did this with the method I did on the Shark, where I do some grain filler and I do some sealer in it. I'm able to get really exact scratches like on these things, just how I want them. On my 83, not so much, because I just went pretty much grain filler and right on a paint. And whenever you go to do these fine little lines, it just kind of pulls everything off. It sucks. This is the way you do it. If you notice, the black on here is not as see-through through the red. This is more how it should be. I didn't have enough red on mine. This is a can and a half of red, 2 cans of black, 2 cans of white. So if you're wondering what it looks like when it's kind of in progress or unassembled, there you go. 5th one I've built. I don't really intend on doing it again, but if somebody asks me, I won't, because I'm not supposed to do that. Maybe. I don't know. It's a long process, and my price is probably higher than most want to pay. But yeah, that's the Frankie. That's the strap. No, that's leftover from the strap. Those are the straps. Shark. Might do a video on my Gibson. That's actually a Chinese replica. It's pretty damn nice.